Welcome to the Flourish Academy podcast. My name is Heather Lottinen, and I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Mara Chick. We believe everyone can be successful in any endeavor they pursue, whether it's personal or professional. By constantly nourishing your mind reading books, you can impart wisdom and tactics into your life and business. In this podcast, we will be discussing the books that have impacted us and share actionable strategies at the end of each episode to help you succeed.
Yeah, enjoy your downtime listening to us read while you enjoy whatever it is you're doing while you listen to podcasts.
Wonder what people do.
What do people do?
Clean, exercise.
I put my makeup on when I'm...
drive, run errands.
Do my laundry.
Yeah.
You know, that laundry that takes me 5 hours to do.
Right.
How about, when I take my shower, maybe daily? Ha, 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 ha. No, just kidding. Listen to a prior episode if you don't know what that means.
We've talked about Mars habits.
So we are continuing. Well, we're going to finish up today our discussion on Write It Down, Make It Happen, Knowing What You Want and Getting It by Henriette Klauser. Klauser. Mara has to say it fancy. Mm-hmm. We're going to jump straight to chapter 13 and move to page 165. So you will start to notice a trend here in the stuff we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. These are all things that we hit on because... well, we've hit on before because they're very important. Mm-hmm. So she says from the book, the important thing is to do something, anything that propels you forward, keeps the dream fresh. Anything that propels you forward keeps the dream fresh in your RAS.
Reticular activating system.
Heather's favorite thing.
It's your brain telling you what to pay attention to.
Yes. And it says, so you will be attuned to signs, start collecting evidence. Okay? You have to know the signs.
You have to be
prepared to accept them in.
So we said in a previous episode that the opportunities are always available. You just have to be prepared to see them. They are there.
They're there.
But you don't notice them.
Knocking on the door. Yeah. Are you ready?
And it's a protective mechanism. It's the way the brain works so that you don't notice everything because you couldn't possibly process everything. But you have to notify your brain what it is that you want so that it knows what to pay attention to, which is actually a perfect segue right into chapter 14. On page 177, she talks about writing to set the wheels in motion. She says, when you write something down, you begin to define what you know and therefore what you want. You can't have what you want until you know what it is. Okay, listen. I say this to people all the time. I say, do you know the fastest way to get whatever it is you want, whatever it is? The fastest way is to tell your brain that you want it. You have to write it down. You have to tell your brain this is what you want. Figure out what it is you want, and then write it down and tell your brain. And things will start to unfold that will happen. Yeah, that will happen.
I mean, how many times have we said in this podcast, you've got to be very clear on what you want. And if you aren't, then...
know thyself. Know thyself. What makes you tick? What are you looking for? What do you want? It's so important. How do you know yourself? Through life, through experiences, through trial, through error, through pain, through tears, through highs, lows, whatever. You have to figure out what it is you want. The clarity is the key to everything. Because once you get clear on something, you'll notice it happens much faster. There's a reason for that. Your brain starts to figure out what to pay attention to.
Okay, we are going to move to... what do we want to do? Okay, well, chapter 15 talks about writing letters to God. And Heather and I are both Jesus lovers.
Amen.
Heather probably loves Jesus more than I do.
I don't know that there's anybody that loves Jesus more than I do.
You love Jesus.
I always say that my faith is not a part of who I am. It is everything that I am. It's the foundation for my life. When I wake up in the morning, my first conscious thought is Jesus saves. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Jesus saves. It's eternity.
So... thank you.
You're welcome.
So, she talks about writing letters to God, and I actually enjoy this. Sometimes praying is hard for me because I get lost in my own thoughts. Like, they come in and just distract me. And then I start thinking about something, and I'm like, oh, I was praying.
Wait, where was I? Yeah.
I gotta go back to that. So, I could like to sit down and write letters to God and just be like, yo, here's what I'm thinking about today. Can you help me figure this out? And sometimes when I feel like I'm writing like to myself and working things out in my journal, like he's speaking to me that way, because I have these conversations and epiphanies that I don't think would happen if he wasn't present. You know what I mean? So she says on page 194, write letters to God of praise and thanksgiving, or write to God at night asking questions or for guidance in decision making. When you wake up in the morning, let the answer come to you through your pen. Sounds bizarre, but it can't hurt.
It cannot hurt. Even if you don't believe in that, why not give it a try?
I'm going to try it out.
Why not?
Henriette says try it out.
Yeah. On that same page, she says, "Dear God, help me in this project. How can I feed my family? Do you like me, God? Am I doing the right thing? And by the way, have you seen the sweater I misplaced?" So I think she's trying to be funny. But the truth is, I pray a lot for discernment and wisdom. Am I doing the right thing? Is it from you or is it my selfish desires? And can you please guide me? So I pray for discernment and wisdom every day. I also pray for the Lord to be abundantly clear because I'm pretty slow and dense. I need him to spell it out so I know exactly what he would have me do.
I always pray before every photo session. I know we pray before we start recording our podcast because that's important to both of us. I lead the meditation part and Heather does the praying part. But, for me, praying before every photo shoot is I just want to be used as a vessel to help
Amen.
To reach women. So whatever words need to be spoken, let them come from you. And it just helps me get focused on what I need to do for that photo shoot.
I think that's fantastic. And, many of those women probably don't even know how you're interceding on their behalf. I mean, how amazing. Yeah. What a fantastic gift you give them just in that prayer beyond the experience and the service of the photo shoot, but something that could impact them eternally in their soul. Oh my gosh, that's so incredible to me. Good for you.
Oh, thanks,
You're
Heather.
welcome.
You're so sweet.
You're welcome.
Okay, so jumping to chapter 16, she starts talking about resistance and how it has a meaning. So I'll just read you a quick intro. This is page 195. When you find yourself hesitating before the next step in achievement of your goal, it's easy to blame the procrastination on an overworked schedule or on other people not cooperating. Guess what? It's you who is keeping you from completion.
Guess what?
Okay, thank you, Henriette.
It is you.
It's you. So we stand in our way all the time. We talk about this constantly. We mentor people that are in their own way and they just can't get out of it. And they're holding themselves back. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. They may want to blame those people and not take ownership of it, but they're standing in their own way.
I love to bring this to light to a lot of my clients. So we'll use you as an example, but I'll say to them, oh, I'm really excited. Guess what? I think I have the answer to what's holding you back, what's standing in your way. But I'll kind of play it out, and let them get really excited. Oh, tell me, what is it? I know the secret. And I'll say, Mara needs to get out of Mara's way. That's the problem. It's always ourselves. We are holding ourselves back and we are limiting our control by casting blame outwards or procrastinating because somebody isn't cooperating or you don't have some resource. The truth is you have all the resources you need. You just need to get creative and get out of your own way.
Get out of the way.
Right.
So she says on page 202, resistance has meaning. Okay, write down the reasons behind your reluctance. What is it about moving forward does not seem safe? What is it about? Did I read that right? Yeah. What is it about moving forward that does not seem safe? Okay, and what is it about you? She did emphasize that. What is it about you that resists taking this next step? The truth shall set you free.
Amen. And
free the world to help you along a little. Okay? So there's a reason for your resistance, and you have to find out what that is.
And sometimes, it might be something that's good. Maybe the resistance is you're heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you're not ready for this.
Right.
And we've got to go another place.
That's it. That's exactly
So that's why writing it down will help you, and having those conversations with yourself helps you figure out, what's the real reason behind here. Maybe you're not supposed to go that way. Maybe you got to do this before you do that. You never know. So
you just have to pay attention to it and not fight it and not think that all resistance is bad. You have to ask yourself an honest question. Is this resistance teaching me something? And if so, do I need to change course? Or is it fear and I need to keep plowing forward? That's where discernment comes in. Do I need to adjust or do I need to plow forward? Well, you just have to get really connected with your why and the clarity around what you want so that you can either push through the resistance or change course.
So powerful. Okay, chapter 18. Are we at 18 already?
We are.
Okay, chapter 18, letting go, creating balance. Okay, Heather doesn't really like the word balance.
Harmony.
Harmony.
Let's talk about harmony, right.
Harmony. Because balance means no movement.
That's right, which means no growth.
Which means no growth.
Which means you're dead.
Well, hello. Okay, geez, oh man.
We went there quick.
Okay, I'm going to go cry a river because, jeez.
You can't, so it's
You
not
just
balance.
went right down that rabbit hole pretty quick there.
It's not balance, it's harmony.
It's not balance, it's you're dead. Apparently, according to Heather.
That's great.
So she says on page 216, we often need to be willing to get rid of the old, that which no longer serves us, to make room for, to prepare for the new.
Could you read that again, please?
We often need to be willing to get rid of the old, that which no longer serves us, to make room for, to prepare for the new.
This is pretty important, and it's actually very deep. Think of it in simple terms. If you buy more clothes and your closet is full, you have to get rid of old clothes in order to get new clothes. Okay, that's a very literal translation, and it makes sense to most people. But this is much bigger than that. Are there things in your life that are not serving you? And how can you get rid of them so that you can make room for new opportunities, new experiences, and then ultimately new growth and success? That's pretty hard.
I mean, it's hard. We've talked a lot in some prior episodes about things you need to get rid of and relationships, the phone, distractions from technology, like a lot of that stuff. You really have to take a look at what you're doing. Yeah, and figure out what needs to go.
What needs to go. It doesn't serve you anymore, and it's making clutter, mental clutter, and it's not able to free your mind. Listen, I said years ago, the reason I wasn't moving forward with some projects I was working on was because of my QuickBooks. I needed to clear my QuickBooks to make room for new growth and opportunities. And once I did that, things exploded. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, interesting. Wonder why.
Wonder why.
Okay, on page 19, or not page 19, chapter 19, she starts talking about giving thanks, which I'm all about.
Grateful.
This is all about me. So just jumping straight to page 227, I mean, she uses some examples in here again, from other people. But at the end of the chapter, she says, when you remember to say thanks, when you live your life in a spirit of gratefulness, life will present you with even more things for which to be grateful. And I find that so true. Like when I recognize and express my thanks, there is so much more I'm able to see and recognize and give thanks. Like it's just
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Amazing. Because you don't see it. And I think we take for granted a lot of the stuff that, like, so I thank you all the time for stuff you do for me.
Yes, you do. You're very grateful.
I do. I recognize that what people, and I want people to know I appreciate them because I think that's important. And that I need people. Like, I need our producer. I can't live without her. Right. I can't live without you. I can't live without my husband, my mom. Like, I let people know how important they are to me. So it's time you express your gratitude.
Don't you think that what you focus on, you will feel, and what you focus on will grow? So you have made a conscious decision to focus on what you are thankful and grateful for, and it has just exponentially grown for you. I had a friend recently tell me that she was struggling with anxiety, bouts of anxiety, and she's getting help and she's trying to get to the bottom of it. It was kind of random and out of nowhere, and she said she started with a gratitude journal and just writing down, I think she said 3 things in the morning and the evening.
Yeah, 3 things in the morning, 3 things at night that you're grateful for. And I had my group do this as one of the like self-love activities that we did because it gets you focusing on the good and not the negative, right? And they're like, well, I'm starting to repeat things. So that's okay. Right. I mean, you have to repeat things and then you'll start to see more. Like sometimes your brain is just, it's still working, but it needs time to like get you, oh, she's paying attention now. Let's look over there. Look over there.
It will seek things out. You have activated your RAS system, your reticular activating system. I do this thing at dinner every night with my family where I go around the table and I say, give me one thing or give us one thing that went right today. What went right today? Essentially, what are you grateful for? The first several times I did it, people had to think, oh, what went right today? But after that, I know what was happening. They were starting to pay attention throughout their day at what was going right so they would have something to say at dinner. And that was the point. And that's exactly what you're doing with that exercise. It's smart.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm smart. Thank you.
Yeah, you are smart.
Okay. Yeah, I'm smart. We have it in an audio format that
Forever.
Heather said I was smart. That's all I needed. Okay, wrap. This is done. Okay, and nearing the end of the book, we're chapter 20 on page 231. I liked this little section down here. When some action you take toward a goal does not have the expected result, rather than lose heart, make it your mantra. Some will, some won't. So what? Next.
Yeah.
I loved that because I just feel like and then she said there is no failure, only a delay in results.
I love that. No such thing as failure, only feedback.
Feedback. That's what was that book now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that book because it said failure is just feedback.
It's just
That's
feedback.
all it is.
You're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Change course.
Change course.
Yeah.
So I love that. So I say
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Who cares? Move on. So what?
on. So
My
what?
sister-in-law says, some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield. You know? And that's okay. That's okay. And you just move on.
Right.
Who cares? Big deal. You move on. What's next? And you figure out something else. No such thing as failure. Just feedback. Hey, you might want to change course or go in a different direction because this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's everything I had for the book. I just one strategy to give you guys, and then I want to talk a little bit about just a review. So I really, and this just fits in with like who I am as a person, I really want you to start writing some letters of gratitude to people. If it's someone like you haven't had contact with in a while, just let them know, hey, you had an impact on me, and I want you to know you have no idea what that is going to do for somebody. So just focus on some gratitude this next week, and you can see kind of how your life will shift. And
it could
and
change
it
someone's
changes your
life.
mind,
Yeah.
and it changes someone. You have no idea what that might do for someone. So I'm excited about that.
Also, you could go onto your phone right now and scroll down in your text messages to someone you have not sent a text message to in a long time. Scroll down pretty far and just maybe randomly close your eyes, hit someone's name after you've scrolled a while, and then write something nice to them.
Well, I was thinking, gosh, if I get to my ex-boyfriend, I'll be like,
yeah, no, not that.
Never.
No. Right.
No. But that's a good idea. I like that.
And send just a random thinking of you or
how are you doing?
Yeah, something that let them know that you're aware and that you're thankful
That's
for
awesome.
something. Yeah.
So, this book we've talked a lot about, like she shares a lot of stories in here. And I just want to share one of my favorite stories from the book. And I don't know exactly where it is in the book. You may have it dog-eared or something. But, she was sharing about a woman who desperately wants to be married and had been dating and it was not going well. And what this woman started doing was writing letters to her future husband. And it would just say,
brilliant.
Dear future husband, I see us. And she would talk about their future or what kind of person he was, because she was envisioning what she wanted and how he would treat her, how their life together was like. And I just found it so heartwarming. And I think she ends up finding somebody, if I remember correctly.
She does. Her name's Gloria.
Oh, did you find it?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Her name is Gloria, and this starts in chapter 4, Gloria's story. And she says things like, she's actually wrote these for years.
Yes,
and
years.
she would start them, Dear soulmate, this is an important year for us. I expect us to be together by my 40th birthday. I am nourishing my complete faith that our time has come. I am ready for you. Demanding doesn't work. Faith will bring us together. I gently wait for you. I will lead my life, be open, and you will appear before me. So please come home to me and let's start our life together. And she has brief letters that say, Dear soulmate and husband, I believe we will be together soon. I've been preparing for you for many years. It's fascinating. And
yes, dear soulmate, my heart of hearts knows I need solid love, friendship, and patience as I wait for you. Please come home soon. Like, just the dedication that she had in that, but she was manifesting what she wanted in a soulmate. And as she wrote it down, I could see like it was forming what she wanted, in a mate, so that she could see it when it was in front of her.
That's it.
And then you stop wasting your time on people that are like not. So you're not. Heather's making motions at me.
Yes.
You're not wasting time on people that don't fit into that mold. Like, she was shaping exactly what she wanted, and she could recognize it the second she saw it.
She's visualizing it. Visualizing how they meet. Yeah. Okay, so what you said, I love so much, which is why I'm freaking out because it's so awesome. I have a teenage daughter, and she's almost 16, but when she was about 10, I had her start making a list of her prints. So I wanted her to write down qualities of her prince. So she's writing down all these. I helped her with a few, and I have her and she has this list. And I said, the reason we're doing this is because there will come a time when many suitors come knocking. And I want you to be able to discern pretty quickly, so that your heart doesn't get broken, who is potentially right and who isn't. And you will know that because you have already decided on what is important to you. So she's making this huge list. I actually did this myself many years ago, and my husband met almost everything on my list, which is just amazing. Some of them were very serious, like my belief in God, and then some were very silly, like he had to like Coke over Pepsi. I mean, silly things that don't really matter. And he met all of those and then some. So I have her doing this. So what you just said was, you can recognize the person when they are in front of you, but you can also stop wasting your time on the suitors that come calling that do not fit that bill. It's brilliant. This book and that particular section, also one of my favorite letters, was her writing to her soul. I mean, the stories, excuse me. One of my favorite stories was her writing to her soulmate. I think I may have even had my daughter read this so that she understood, you know, how hard it is in your teenage years, in your early 20s, you're meeting people and then you're not sure, you know, does he like me? Do I like him? I have her set up for as much success as possible. Now, chances are she will probably still get a broken heart. But I have at least set the stage so that she knows when somebody asks her out, she'll know immediately based on her value system whether that person, I don't want to say meets the qualifications, because that sounds, you know, like it's
a job interview.
Yeah, and that's not what I mean, because we're talking about compatibility and core values, so it's deeper than that. But isn't that so interesting?
Yes,
I love that.
I love it. Wow, I wish I would have done that. It probably would have saved me a lot of heartache.
It would have saved all of us a lot of heartache. And so I'm actually, she tells her friends that I'm a life and marriage coach, and her teenage friends come to me sometimes for advice on their boyfriends, which I love. Now, my own daughter might not take my advice because I'm her mother, but her friends actually seek me out for advice, which I think is just awesome. I think it's awesome. A fantastic responsibility. And so I take things like this and I share that with them so that they can discern, because it's very difficult at that age to discern, you know, when somebody pays attention to you, you're just like all googly eyed and you fall for them. And where I'm saying to them, no, I mean, that's important, but why don't you sit down and make a list of your prince and the qualities that he will have? And I encourage them to get very specific. I'm talking height, eye color, hair color, as well as important key character values. I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
I really hope you guys pick up a copy of this book. It's pretty awesome. I really enjoyed this book quite a bit. So, Heather, as we wrap up our series on Write It Down, Make It Happen, can you tell everyone how they can support this super stellar podcast?
Awesome. Yes. Definitely start out by going to Flourish.Academy and checking out Mars' show notes and strategies. And make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Give us a review. Please give us a review and a rating.
Yeah,
say
like
something. That would just really
be
helpful.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Hi, Mom. You know, it's like my mom.
Yeah, my
listening.
mom. Hi, Tony.
Yeah. If you'd like to see the video version of this, I think it helps when you can see our expressions and how we're interacting.
When she just made mode.
Right. You can go to flourishacademy.tv. And if you like the content, please share it with your friends. Share it on social media, on Facebook. Share it. Tell them you enjoyed it. And it can help us impact more people. Yes. And check out our Amazon link to the book. And while you're on Amazon, just continue to shop. Yes, that is our affiliate link. It just helps offset some of the costs associated with the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We will catch you next time on the Flourish Academy podcast.